At this point, you likely have friends or family who have tested positive for COVID once or maybe even twice or 3 times. Michael Raimondi is in the newsroom to explain how common this is to get it multiple times. Michael, we've heard from a lot of folks today. What exactly did you learn?
All of you on social media today, whether you've been diagnosed with COVID-19 more than once. Now, Arizona family received hundreds of emails, comments, and messages. And tonight, one doctor says getting reinfected is pretty common. Testing positive for COVID a second time.
That was awful. I made life miserable. I was alone for like 6-7 days.
Kevin Robertson is quarantining inside his Gilbert home again. In September, he was so sick with COVID, he went to the hospital.
I had a fever probably for 4 or 5 days, like straight. Body aches were really there, and I was extremely fatigued.
He recovered, but 2 days ago, he wasn't feeling good and was sent home from work.
A couple hours later, get the worst text ever saying that it's positive.
Robertson isn't vaccinated. He figured after getting the virus bad in September, he had some immunity.
I'll be fine. I'm totally good. I've already gotten it. There's no way it'll get me again, and it sucks to say I got it again.
Dr. Ross Goldberg says just because you got COVID before doesn't mean you're protected.
You do not obtain long-term natural immunity from it.
Goldberg says you only build up antibodies for 90 days at most, which means you could get the virus again 3 months later. And these reinfections are putting a strain on our hospitals.
We are overloaded in the hospital, and having people come in with COVID.
Dr. Goldberg says although COVID patients aren't as sick as with previous strains, they're filling up hospitals.
I'm worried we're going to see some spikes that we're not ready for yet, and I'm worried about what that's going to do to the entire system.
Now, Dr. Goldberg says even if you've had COVID-19, you should still get vaccinated. He says it gives you a higher chance of avoiding reinfection and lessens your chances of getting really sick and going to the hospital. Back to you in the studio, Whitney.
Lots of interesting stuff. Thank you so much, Michael.